Lesson 102. I share God's will for happiness for me. You do not want to suffer. You may think it buys you something and may still believe a little that it buys you what you want. Yet this belief is surely shaken now, at least enough to let you question it, and to suspect it really makes no sense. It has not gone as yet, but lacks the roots that once secured it tightly to the dark and hidden secret places of your mind. Today we try to loose its weakened hold still further and to realize that pain is purposeless, without a cause and with no power to accomplish anything. It cannot purchase anything at all. It offers nothing and does not exist. And everything you think it offers you is lacking in existence like itself. You have been slave to nothing. Be you free today to join the happy will of God. For several days, we will continue to devote our periods of practicing to exercises planned to help you reach the happiness God's will has placed in you. Here is your home, and here your safety is. Here is your peace, and here there is no fear. Here is salvation. Here is rest at last. Begin your practice periods today with this acceptance of God's will for you. I share God's will for happiness for me, and I accept it as my function now. Then seek this function deep within your mind, for it is there, awaiting but your choice. You cannot fail to find it when you learn it is your choice, and that you share God's will. Be happy, for your only function here is happiness. You have no need to be less loving to God's Son than He whose love created Him as loving as Himself. Besides these hourly 5-minute rests, pause frequently today to tell yourself that you have now accepted happiness as your one function, and be sure that you are joining with God's will in doing this. The Lie of Pain and the Function of Joy, a fireside chat on Lesson 102, I share God's will for happiness for me. Let's sit by the fire for a minute and get honest. Like, deep breath, socks off, heart open kind of honest. Because Lesson 102 comes in gentle like a lullaby, but underneath its softness is a wrecking ball. It's not whispering, it's unwiring. It's saying, you think you've got pain figured out? You think you're managing suffering like it's a bank account or a game plan? Nah. Let me tell you the truth. You do not want to suffer. At first, that hits like a false note. Because some part of you, some whisper in the back of your mind, still thinks suffering gets you something. Approval, sympathy, redemption, identity, depth, power, specialness. But then the Course flips the script. You may believe a little that it buys you what you want. But that belief is shaking now. You feel that? That's the root coming loose. That's the hidden contract with pain being exposed clause by clause, and it's not shameful. It's just time to cancel the subscription. The root of suffering is loosening. Imagine suffering like an old weed rooted deep in the soil of your unconscious mind. You planted it a long time ago, thinking it would grow something beautiful. Maybe you thought pain meant you were noble. Maybe you thought heartbreak proved your love was real. Maybe you thought endurance equaled spiritual strength, but now you've been digging, lesson by lesson, you've been pulling at the root, and today's the day you realize this thing has no fruit, no flower, it's purposeless, it's not just unhelpful, it's empty. Pain is purposeless, it has no cause and no power to accomplish anything. Not even a little. Not even if I use it right. Nope. Not even if I transform it into art. Nope. Not even if I learn a lesson from it. You might learn despite it, but not because of it. Pain offers nothing. It doesn't build. It doesn't clean. It doesn't teach. It doesn't love. It does not exist. You can't show me pain. You can describe it, you can catalogue it, you can scream about it, but you can't show it to me. You can show me a scar, but not the pain. You can show me tears, but not the sorrow. You can show me a cracked windshield, but not the heartbreak. Pain has no shape, no colour, no container. It's a ghost we keep feeding, even though it's never actually knocked on the door. So why do we treat it like it's currency? Because the ego tells us pain is how we prove we're real, that suffering makes us important, that our wounds make us worthy. You've heard the story. The ego says, don't let go of that betrayal. That heartbreak makes you deep. It says, don't forgive. That pain is the only thing keeping you from being a fool. But today we call it bluff. Pain can't purchase anything, not love, not growth, not understanding, not safety, not redemption. Pain has no purchasing power. It can't be traded for anything real. You can suffer for a lifetime and still be bitter, still be scared, still be unhealed. You can walk through fire and come out with ashes, not wisdom. Pain is a counterfeit God. It promises salvation and delivers more fear. Triage of the ego. Let's talk about triage. You walk into an ER, and someone behind a desk decides whose pain matters most, who's sick enough to be seen, who gets stitched, who gets patched, who gets ignored. The ego does the same thing. It sorts people by their wounds. It says, your pain isn't as bad as hers, or no one suffered like you. Your story is too painful to forgive. But the Course says, you have been slave to nothing, not your trauma, not your grief, not your history. You are free now. That's the mic drop, the exit music, the curtain call. You're not bound to the lie anymore. You're not a hostage to sorrow, the function of happiness. Now we flip the whole script. Your only function here is happiness. Let that sentence sit in your chest like a warm stone. Let it roll around your ribcage. Let it find the places that still believe suffering is noble. Let it sit right next to your unfinished childhood and whisper, this is your function now. You're not here to survive life. You're here to be happy. Not the kind of happiness that giggles over pizza, though that's welcome. I mean the kind of happiness that restores creation. The happiness that comes from knowing there is nothing wrong with you. Nothing wrong with your brother. Nothing wrong with the world except for a false belief in separation that's already being undone. God's will has placed happiness in you. It's not a prize, it's a placement, it's already there. Like shaving cream on a shelf, it's already stocked. You don't have to make it. Just choose it. That's all. Reach out and grab what's been yours since the beginning. Why can't fear and happiness coexist? Because they don't speak the same language. Fear says protect yourself. Happiness says extend yourself. Fear says something might be taken from you. Happiness says everything is already given. They cancel each other out. If you're happy, you're not afraid. If you're afraid, you're not happy. You can't serve both masters. You can't listen to two voices. You can't sit at two tables. So choose your table. Choose the will of God. Perfect happiness. Choose your function to be happy and extend that joy. And just like that, you no longer need to be less than loving to your brother. You no longer need to perform grief to be taken seriously. You no longer need to argue for your limitation. You no longer need pain to make a point. Be happy. Let yourself say it. I have now accepted happiness as my one function, and I am finally home.